We have an amazing personality, a fashionista, a fashion designer. We have Ifeoma Augusta. It's good to have you. Good
You're
afternoon.
welcome. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me. Gratitude and blossom.
It's good to have you. So, where did we do this meeting exactly? Because I feel like you pioneered this meeting for
Yes,
this color.
actually, I called you people up. At that time,
Yes, at that time because I brought a trouser, a two-piece. I wanted to wear. It was colorful.
Oh.
And I don't know how I changed it.
And it became black and white. Monochrome. Yeah. We're syncing. We're in alignment.
Yes. We're believing to be together.
Yes, definitely.
That's amazing.
Our energies match.
Yeah, I love that one. Well, anyway, let's quickly, we'll be reading her profile pretty soon. And we will let you onto our guest for today. Well, Sitting Pretty is the CEO of Ray Clothings. I felt like I was in a class. I want to say, repeat after me. But anyways, we have the CEO of Ray Clothing. She does bespoke collections, embellished clothing, t-shirts collections. She also has a fashion hub, where you train people, right? Which is beautiful. So let's get to meet her exactly. Ifeoma Augusta Anselem is a result-driven, innovative executive that excels in innovative fashion with successful track in both operational and strategic management roles. With a degree and certification in urban and regional planning, fashion design, strategic planning, enterprise development, and entrepreneurship, she has successfully managed Ray Clothings and increased revenue by 30% in the last 1 year. Well, according to her, Ray Clothings is poised for high ROI. She will tell us what that is. Rapid growth and community development with its cutting edge technology. And she has the future plan of having new product development, international market entry, and, a fashion hub. Well, she's going to tell us how to get to her. But please, which one is?
ROI. ROI simply means return on investment. So it's just an acronym for return on investment. So anything you put in us, you're sure of a very, very high return on. Yes.
That's lovely. So I've been trying to look at Ifeoma Augusta Anselem. Where is the Ray Clothing from?
Okay, actually, my other name is Rachel.
I would have guessed right if you had to put Rachel there.
But Rachel is the silent one. As a Catholic, you have the baptismal name, the confirmation name.
Oh, yeah.
So the confirmation name is usually not prominent like the baptismal name, which is also like what we call the English name.
Yeah.
Of course, you have a native name, which is the Ifeoma. So after my baptism, then the Augusta came in because my godmother is Augusta, so she named me after her.
Oh.
Yes. So the Rachel came in as a confirmation name. Oh. Which, of course, I can't keep adding Ifeoma Augusta, Rachel, and all that. So I
can't remember my confirmation name though.
Really?
Don't ask me. Just leave it like that because you're saying I can't remember.
Okay.
But it's good you remember.
And then I now realize that since Rachel is there, why will I let it go like that? Oh. So it should come out. And then when we're in school, my friend was the one that now, when I told her my confirmation name was Rachel, she just gave me Ray, which is Ebele. Ebele, very good friend. So since then, Ray stuck. So Ray was my nickname in secondary school.
Oh, nice.
So that Ray stuck, and then I was like, okay, Ray can actually be a business away from my name as a person. So that, and then I was trying to separate myself from the business. Because it's just recently that people are associating Ray's clothing with Ifeoma. Initially, I wanted it to have a life of its own. While I go on to be Ifeoma, then Ray can just be there. I'll just be a silent CEO. But of course, I realized that in this our terrain ecosystem, SME ecosystem, you can't exactly separate yourself from your business. You understand? Because people will first buy you before they buy your products. So when I realized it, I just started putting my face behind the brand. Initially, the brand had a life of its own. You understand? I tried to push it. I had a separate Facebook, Instagram for it. But I noticed that it was when I started coming out, it's me, I'm here.
That's why you don't see support.
Yes. And then people started keying into it because of maybe the relationship I've built with as a person. So that's the whole idea about Ray and Ifeoma.
Okay, I love that. That is how will I put it? That's English. Wow. Encouraging. Yeah, that's encouraging. You know, having to, you know, like you said, in this part of our world, you can start a business and want to keep your business away from your, it won't work because trust me, some people don't even trust online stores.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they need to know.
They need to put a face to it, and that will even make it faster for you. Oh no, I know how you can patronize them. Oh, she's good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell us. I know that's not what you studied in school. No, what did you study in school? And how did you divert into fashion? What happened?
So I've always been in the urban regional plan engineering aspect. But then in 2020, you know, when COVID happened, I tell people that people frown at COVID, but it was a blessing for me because I was idle. I didn't have anything to do. Prior to that time, I've been a baker, but not on a very large scale like I'm doing race clothing now. So I've also sold clothes and shoes on the side. But when COVID came in and everybody was forced to stay home, I was like, no. And I used to drop ship this Dubai Agbaya from Dubai and Turkey and China. So my friend was the one bringing it, and then we'll pay pre-order. It will come in, then we'll add our profits and sell. And I realized that during COVID and everywhere shut down, we couldn't get these things. And I kept looking at these clothes like, these things can be made here. If you actually look at them, they are rhinestones embellishments. We can get them here. Right, so I now decided to like go and learn how to sew. So that's how I started.
Really?
I started learning how to sew in 2020. Wow. So I registered with the local government, Ikotun there, and and I had another person that was also teaching me. Before you know what's happening, that year I spent it learning how to sew. I felt I was just sewing because I was bored for myself. I wasn't sewing that I wanted to make a business out of it. But when I would make clothes, I would go to church. People like, who made it? I did. Okay, make for me. Initially, then, because I said I didn't want to be a regular tailor, right? I wanted something different. So I was like, what can I do? Everybody's sewing. You can't enter a street and not find 2 or 3 tailors. Yeah. At least that's how it is right now. Even in Lagos, I was like, I don't want to be a tailor. What will I do that will separate me? So that was when this rhinestone embellishment came in. And true story. I dreamt about it. I never knew anything about it. Yes, I saw the process in my dream. I saw how it was made in my dream. So I saw like I was watching it play out like a hand arranging it on the board. I woke up and went to the market with what was in my head. I was explaining to people. They were not directing. Okay, this is stone. This is the board. This is the machine. This is this, and that's how we started. Of course, I made mistakes on the first job, you know. Yeah. And because I didn't have a trainer on that, I had to train myself, learn on the job. Oh, wow. And today it's something that comes second nature to me, you understand? So for me, I believe that business, for you to really succeed in business, that aspect of that business that comes naturally to you is what you should focus on. You can always delegate the other parts that you're struggling in. And for me, anybody can make the dress for me. Anybody can help out. But when it comes to rhinestone, please leave it for me. Because it comes naturally to me. And so that's lovely.
And people will be wondering, she made this stone?
Yes, and just last night.
Oh, just even last night?
Yes. Yeah. I finished it by 2 a.m.
Wow.
I started by, say, past 11. I finished by 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to be on the show. I was like, okay, I think I need to wear something that I make. So that was happening.
Amazing. Gratitude, you have a question.
Yes. Listening to you speak just means that you have a particular drive and a push. Because trust me, I know it's not easy to start up something like this. Plus the fact that you had nobody to actually train you, but you started by yourself because of the vision you had. So what has been your motivation, your drive, your push to be able to like start up this brand and still keep it going till now?
For me, I think I just wanted something that I can say this is mine. You know, like everything I've just been doing, I've been encouraged to do it. But this is the first thing I've actually done because I wanted to do. You understand? Going to school, of course, your parents will take you to school. Every other thing I've done, every other business, try this. But this fashion, that why it's still standing is because something I really wanted to do. My mom was a tailor, actually. But amongst all of us, no one took after her. So I'm even surprised that I even had to now go back to that route. So the drive for me is to build something that will outlive me. You understand? It might not look like it today, but definitely I see this going, not just clothing. Like the whole idea is a piece of Africa, a piece of Nigeria, anywhere our products get into. Let's say be that we are selling a story. We're not just going there to make money. We're selling that feeling of, I'm an African, I'm a Nigerian. I can wear what, as in, I don't have to feel ashamed wearing our own
attire.
you know, yes, our own products. So for me, the drive is just to make people feel what I feel anytime I make this clothes. As in, when you wear it, you understand what it takes for me to make it. So that connection, let me, like, in each home, each wardrobe, a part of me is there, you know, like, it means that I would have succeeded in what I wanted to, something that will outlive me, even my children.
What's the art? What's the animal? I feel like it's an animal.
It's not an animal.
I wanted to say it's a dog.
No, it's not.
Is it the beanie head?
Yes, it is.
What do they call it then?
Is this head? It can. It's not just Benin. Even Yoruba people. This Oni. Yes. Oni of Ife.
Oni of Ife. Oh.
Yes. You know that his cap.
That is usually long.
Is it?
I was thinking that's the beak and this is the head. Oh Lord.
No.
It's good to ask questions.
Yes.
That's lovely. Okay, so tell me, what was the most challenging thing for you having to do this? Because like you said, you went into engineering, right?
Yeah, yes.
And you had to switch to fashion. So have you ever thought of going back to what you studied? Plus, what's the challenging part to this job? Yeah.
Like I said, fashion is the passion. Is the one thing I enjoy doing. Like, and okay, the challenge I had going into it was not having the right support early, because I finally scaled through, because I got into community, which we'll talk about later. But the first time doing it alone, you notice that there are things you do not know. So you tend to make loads of mistakes. First, it was like I had saved up some money, buying the machines I didn't need at the time. Then when it was time to go into operations, there was no money for operations. But then you had assets. Now, do you sell assets for So without the right trainings, without the right community, without the right mentors, you can't really go far in business, you understand? But because we were just trying to do it anyhow,
do everything
yourself. So you find out that for the first 2 years I struggled so much. Not just the sales were not just the sales per se, the visibility, because the sales can come, you can't have the capacity to see them through. But when I now got back and started getting into trainings with LSCTF, with so many organizations, Google, with Caladium, with Impact Her, there are so many organizations out there that are willing to hold you by the hand, especially women. If you're a woman and you are in business, you don't know what God has done for you in Nigeria, because these organizations are there to push you with the right trainings, the right support, even money. You understand? So we've gotten some grants actually on this our journey. Yes, we've gotten grants from Google, grants from Women in Africa, grants from Impact Her. We've gotten grants from several organizations are out there. So the first few years I didn't know what to do, how to do it. And I didn't have the right support, but after we're able to now scale through, which anyone that is coming after me now, I will tell you, wait, before you start that business, seek out mentors, seek out people who are there, listen to them, if possible, pay for their courses if you can. And then again, there are free courses too. But before you can now have money for the paid one, get the free ones out there, listen to people, get them to hold you by them, because what a mentor can show you, you can't achieve by yourself in 5 years.
Of course.
Even in 1 month, a mentor can say, go meet this person, talk to this person,
contact.
Apply this, do that, and then you find out that it looks as if it's easy for you, and you are everywhere. People are wondering, but I started with you.
How did you?
That's just the difference between the person that has a guide and the person that doesn't have a guide. So.
All right. So during this passion of yours, what's the most interesting thing for you aside from? I know you already said you like to put the stones yourself. But aside from that, what is that thing that gives you joy? Or maybe an interesting episode you had with someone, or a particular attire, or a particular design, and you're like, oh, and after that, it's not difficult to click that same interest, like that thing that just anytime you think about it, just rings a bell. Is there anything like that?
Yes, actually, because what I do whenever I go for an event or a training, I usually go with a piece of my clothing. I can give the head person there, like, this is what is coming from us. And I do it not because I'm expecting anything in return. So one time we had this Auausta accelerator program, which our business finally became the best SME in Nigeria. Yes, but at the time, then we're all together. So no one knew who was going to get anything. So we heard that the head was coming into Nigeria. So I packed one for the head in Nigeria, the head that is not in Nigeria, the overall head. So I packed two. So I was like, let me just give. So I gave to their PA. Please, can you give these people? The PA was like, no, please go and give them yourself. I was like, no, just because I didn't even want to be seen. I'm the one bringing it because it's already packed. So, but let me just see. I don't know how it to be received. So, and this man, the head, the overall head, this man was there. He had an interview. I think either channels or something. They were there to make to give this interview. So immediately they just said, go to him, give him. I was like, sir. He now took it. He now opened it. He was like, wow, who made it? I said, I did. He was wearing a white t-shirt. Immediately he wore what I gave. Immediately he just went live. I was like, see, one of our businesses just brought this. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to showcase. This is made in Africa, made in Nigeria. So without doing anything, this guy sold me on that interview. Like, so I was not, so for every time I remember that, I'll be like, what if I didn't come with that? I was not the only business there. Well,
what if you had insisted you don't want to go yourself?
I don't even want to go myself. But that thing kind of encouraged. Now he went on to later buy like 10 other pieces later. Yes, that yes, but then again, beyond the money they paid, it left this this thing in me that encouraged me so much that afterwards I kept on pushing myself, because there are days you don't just want to do anything. There are days you are like, is this thing even working? There are days you doubt yourself.
Yes.
You know, there are days, so you can't remove that. And since I've realized that it's part of the journey, whenever the days come, I lie down and sleep. When that day pass, I stand up again.
True.
But because I know I cannot go over that, I cannot ignore those days, so I just walk through it. So, but anytime I'm discouraged, I remember that there are days that people have said, wow, you made this, and then I go on. And then there's something people will say, men don't, because I make for both men and women. So it can be worn by a man and a woman. So, but when people are like, men don't like blings, I was like, it's not true. Yes, men might not be bling every other day, Monday to Friday. But imagine them having it too in their closet. How many are we in Lagos? Let's say people with disposable income. Let's say I don't even get to meet clients. Let's say 3 million people, and they have two of my pieces. What else am I looking for? My market is assured, right? So these are things that people like, no, bling this too much, reduce the. I was like, no, my market is out there. Relax, I'll get my market. Yes, I do bespoke, ready to wear without the blings. But then again, this is the niche I'm trying to cover for myself, so that when you hear race clothing, you associate it with the rhinestone embellishments.
Wow, I love that. Amazing.
Okay, now you've been able to like tell us your challenges. So can you tell us how you've been able to overcome these challenges when you're faced with them?
Like what I say, I'm very spiritual. Of course, God has always been holding my hands. And like I said, community. You see, I cannot trade the kind of community I have now for anything in the world. 80% of what I currently have achieved in the business was because I joined one community or another. You understand? And I have colleagues in the business, because the thing is, you know, when we see people in the same business as ours, we try to compete. But lately, I'm realizing that the new competition is collaboration. You must know what you can do well. Bring other persons, what can they do well? Then people can even form like a synergy to get a project done, right? So the community has really helped me in overcoming most of these challenges. If it is like, who wants to help you do this for your business? There's somebody in that community that does that. Who wants to help you send a link to apply for the next grant? It's somebody in the community. Who wants to introduce you to this person in this office? Somebody in the community knows this person or knows someone that knows this person, right? So it's not something that you can just, when you realize that you can't do this alone, it's as in you leverage on what you have and then be that person. It's not just trying to go take advantage of your community. Be that person that is also willing to share. Because of course, I've shared my space, my intellect, I've shared my everything. In fact, I've shared what I have. So when people know you are equally willing to give, they are willing to reciprocate. That's the law of nature, right?
Okay, so to women out there that are trying their best, but it feels like they are not doing enough. To women out there that are trying to get it right as regards to fashion, starting up their own brand, what do you think they should know? Is there a certain rule, or are there do's and don'ts in this particular business, this line of business, that you feel they should be aware of?
Okay, for me, I always say, as you're trying to be like this person, carve out your own journey. Because the problem comes when you have seen a person and you want to mirror that person's successes, but you don't know what the person goes through
behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors. There are businesses we see flourishing, but you don't know the mess behind them closed doors. So when, in as much as you are seeing this person is selling, sold out on Instagram, sold out on Facebook, sold out on this, please, I beg you in the name of God, sit down, take a deep breath, ask yourself, why am I in this business? Your why is what will keep you in the days that things are not working. That your why is not my why. That your why is nobody's why. When you know your why am I here? What am I doing? Am I doing because A is doing, B is doing? If A is doing and that's what I'm doing, when A stops, will I stop? Right? So if I know why I'm in this business, I will block the noise, because the noises will come. You will feel inadequate most times, because what sells now is packaging. What sells is noise. What sells is what we can see. People do everything to make sure that you see them like they're doing well. But the truth is that most of you are even doing better than most of these people out there, right? So why are you pressurized? Who gave you that timeline? Know your timeline, yourself. This is what I want to achieve 2025. Then you go back to it. Have I achieved this? Not what this person, or not what I am supposed to achieve. Because every one of us, we have various situations. So what I can achieve in 6 months, most people might not achieve it in 1 year. And what most people can achieve in 1 month, I might struggle to get it in one year. So if I know these timelines, I wouldn't be fazed by what is out there, right? I will walk by my own timeline, what I want to do. So for the person who is out there watching me and wondering, where do I start from? First of all, why do you want to come into fashion? You want to come and sell clothes? What kind of clothes do you want to sell? And then when you now answer this question, then know that, understand that, because now I think for me, what I tell people now, because I now know better, is business, buying and selling, or selling is not the same thing as building a brand.
Yes.
When you know this, you will have peace of mind. In fact, I've come to realize that any business that wants to stand, the first 5 years, don't bother about income or making money. You can just make to get by, pay bills, pay electricity bills, workers, on the go. But for a brand to stand, give yourself above 5 years. And people don't have that patience for that 5-year rule. So they tend to just 1 year, 2 years, they pack up shop. They were like, this is not for me.
It's not moving.
I want to go to another place. But the truth of the matter is, except you're in need to do buy and sell or get your profit and no wahala. But if it's a brand, no, please give yourself time. Understand that it takes work, and understand there are days that you will question everything you know. Yes.
Well, we're taking a short break, the last break and the last tip for today. Then we'll come back and we'll now ask her social media handles, because a lot of people, like you said, you mentioned some very good communities that you had that helped you, that built you, and you even talked about one that was able to give you grants, right? And I'm sure a lot of people want access to that. So you help us share a little bit more of that information when we come back. And also the communities that they really need to go into. It's not just about people who are into the fashion world, but SMEs, right? So let's quickly go for a short break and the last tip for the day. That we'll come back and wrap up the show. Stay with us.
Six safety tips to avoid adulteration. Here are 6 basic safety tips to avoid adulteration. Choose better. This is the first barrier of the first line in defense of ensuring the food is aptly chosen by the consumer, considering the health benefit. Avoid choosing products in loose packaging. Drink safe water. Use water after properly purifying it. A combination of purification methods like water purifier, heating, etc. can be used to ensure quality. Often we miss out on water quality, which is one of the major sources of food contamination. Be aware. The recent adulteration analysis at home ebook released by FSSAI DART, Detect Adulterated Wheat Rapid Test, a must-have for all food businesses, companies and majorly homes to check for adulteration by using locally available chemicals. It might be an all-comprehensive solution as to methods used for estimation. Don't let the manufacturers con you. Just because the ingredients seem healthier options doesn't mean they are. Always look up for the claims made by the food businesses using alternate, healthier choices. For example, several artificial sweeteners use ingredients which do more harm to the body than natural sugars can assume to do. Dig deeper. Often, we claim that the product was prepared steaming hot right in front of us. We forget that the ingredients that are used like frying oil might be reused and can be harmful to the health. Food coloring mixed while preparing food served to you can be equally harmful. Observe while the local food vendors or the vendors in your cafeteria make something. If it doesn't seem right, healthy, stale or adulterated, then it should be avoided. Avoid food items with unnaturally dark colors. Always check out food items no matter how nice it appears to be.
All right, welcome back. Now let's go over to the last part of it. Now, first, before you tell us the social media handles, now the communities. How can people get into these communities? Basically, SMEs, and let's not talk about the grants, because trust me, nobody just wants to hand you millions of naira just like that. Definitely. So we need to know about the communities first.
Okay, like if you're a woman, there are communities. Impact Her is on Telegram. You can just go search Impact Her. Then Flourish Africa too. They give millions to female entrepreneurs. In fact, last year they gave 3 million to 100 persons.
Wow.
Yes. So then there's this training by Google Hustle Academy. So they also the links are out there. You know, when you ask. So when you get to come, then we have SME bootcamp, which is the Caladium bootcamp.
Yeah.
So people share these opportunities in those communities, both on WhatsApp, both on Facebook, both on Telegram, mostly on Telegram, you understand. So I will drop my social media handles.
Of course, please do.
But the point I'm making is, if you really want, it's not just to join this community. Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to go through the training? Because before anybody can assess you, maybe give you, even though it's 100,000, you will go through a certain level of training. Maybe 1 month, 3 months. And the good thing is that most of them are now online, so you don't need to be physically present in a class. So it's just you and your phone, and it can be done with phone. In fact, everything I've achieved, 80% was done on my phone. So it's not like I had to go to a workstation and set up so many things to be able to access. No, we've gone past that. But understand that you must take your training seriously. You must write the exams before you are even certified. Then it's after the certifications that opportunities will now come. That, okay, we want to give 20 women this, you want to give 20 men that, but let it be that you've gone through that community, that training. So nobody will just call you and hand you over this thing. So if you're afraid of reading, studying, those communities will not work for you. You understand? Because it won't come on a platter.
It won't come on a platter of gold. Well, did you mention your social media handles yet?
No, Race Clothing on all social media platforms. We're on TikTok, Facebook, we're on Instagram, Race Clothing.
Great.
Yes.
And also your WhatsApp line for people to be able to contact you again to ask about these communities.
Okay, 070-8658-5410. 070-8658-5410.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that one.
Thank you.
Okay, so at this point, we will be wrapping up the show because it's time to move over to the next segment. But I would like to say thank you so much, CEO of Ray Clothing.
Thank you for having me. I'm gratitude. I had so much fun.
Yes, I'm happy you had so much fun.
Yes, I did.
So I would like to take the 5 million grants too. Who does not like money?
I thought it was hidden.
No, it's not hidden.
I don't know.
Okay. There's no 5 million anywhere. Well, just play. Anyway, this has been so much fun to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being part of the program.